Welcome everybody, we've got a new episode and we're going to do it differently this time because we have a great florist designer over here. We've got Max van der Sluis and he's got a great design. But the first thing that catches my eye is look how clean he works. He prepared the Lisianthus in such a nice way and we're going to hear all about it, why he does it like this and so on and so on. So Max, let's start.
Okay. I'm going to make a structure bouquet. As base, I make from vines of the Lisianthus a nice open structure so I can hold my flowers later precisely on the place where I want to have them. Over that I go with vines of the Passiflora, open and wild but organized over the other structure and fix it. So I can work over, in and in between this vine. So I get depth, I get airy, I get layers, what I always like. Then I take my Lisianthus, as you said, I clean them precisely. I take away the leaves, the smallest buds, so I get a clean, strong stem of Lisianthus. And the most nice thing is, I have only 20 stems and I separated them in different parts. They are now much more and much more beautiful. And I go to make an amazing flower design in this bouquet.
So Max, the first question I have for designers, how they end up in the floral industry. Obviously you're from Holland, so your story probably is going to be a bit different, but tell us.
Oh, I didn't have a choice. I am more or less forced into the flower business. My father had a nursery. My mother had a flower shop. So I was working in the nursery, I think with the age of 7, 8, maybe 9, like many of Dutch children of growers are.
Yeah.
And I get the disease directly. I knew I go to do something with flowers, and my first intention was I want to be a grower because that was my first passion.
Yeah.
And when I went to the school, I did the education for flower design and for how to grow flowers. Yeah. And it is like with sport, when something went quite easy for you, you go to like it, and as I did, and I still do. And to grow flowers is still a passion for me. And I do that at home in my garden, and I have the most amazing things in my garden. Like everything I make now from this bouquet, my Passiflora, Lisianthus, everything is coming from my garden. Oh, so nice. All the time, when I put something in my garden, it is for a double use. One use for the beauty, to have a beautiful garden, but the other side, I have to be able to use it for something. So in the years, I have a beautiful collection of beautiful materials in my garden all year around. And I can advise to do so too. And when you don't have an own garden, you have friends, you have family, and you have birthdays, you give them the most beautiful plants you can use. So when you need them, you can go there and can prune them. So they grow it for you for free. That's the way I do it. But
that's a Dutch way of thinking.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it typical Dutch? I don't know if it is typical Dutch. But it is useful and it's working. And everybody is happy with it and nobody noticed. So even my father was worried. He asks them money to prune them. Yeah. So I'm not that bad. But
Wow. So then you started in the flower designing.
Yes.
And there is a point from starting in flower designing and traveling all over the world.
No, I will tell you the story better. So I always was a bit eager. So when I was in school, you have to work for a while to some other companies to learn. But I don't want to work for anybody. I want to work with the best, because when you want to learn, you go to the best. So I invest to that. So I go every day in the morning, 1 hour to that shop and 1 hour back. I work for Ton Lemmers. In that time, it was one of the most progressive designers I think we had in Holland. Yeah. He was totally thinking out of the box. He teaches me so many many things, but most of all, he teaches me to think for yourself and to find out and to experiment, to be experimental and to do things different. Don't follow the crowd. After that, after my schooling, I go to work with Jozef Verrijken in Antwerp. For me, it was one of the best designers of his time. He also did competition in his time, long time ago.
Yeah.
And later he became my coach, my best friend, and later on when he stopped his company, he was working even for me.
Okay.
Yes. And that's my philosophy, and
Yeah.
that's what I advise to everybody. Try to be the best, to think for yourself, and to absorb what you see, to analyze. I think that's the most important thing, is to analyze when you do something, or when you do nothing even. Because do you know what you see now? When you see now this bouquet, I have here two materials of vines. I have Lisianthus, but when you look very carefully, I have reduced the green, but in the Lisianthus I take two colors that are very close together. So I have they're going from light to more dark,
Yeah.
and it looks like it is one type. But when I do this, it gives to the flowers more depth. Also in what I use here, I use again open spaces inside. So everything will be seeable. So with a little flowers, I can create now a big effect. The upper side, when I go to use, for example, one color of Lisianthus, it will be less interesting. So to play a little bit with the colors, it will make the whole bouquet more and more interesting. Another thing is, because of structure, I can hang my flowers outside. I put them later in the right spiral position very easily. So it works easily, I have an overview, and it will be beautiful.
It's all in the details.
Everything is in the details, that's life.
Yeah. So learning from the best, that's an advice you all also give to other people now. Learn from the best
Yes.
and create your own style.
Yeah, but you don't have, not everybody have to create completely their own style. You have to do what you feel good with.
Yeah.
It is not bad when you borrow from other people, but try to make it yourself. I explain my feeling about it. I explain the technique. I explain to you my emotion with it. You can take what you like. You don't have to take it all. Take the parts you like, what fits you. I can understand some people like more powerful colors, or some people like different type of flowers of different shapes. It's possible. You can take parts of it, what I do, and from that you can learn. And you can experiment it, and you make it. And you make it once, and make it twice, and 3 times. And after a while, you go to see and notice what you like yourself and what works for you. I think it's a process. It's like with art in the early days. There's not a Jugendstil from one person. That came with many artists that work in the same way. They get attached to each other. They learn from each other. And then you get a movement. And together you create something new. And for me, it's very important to work with transparency, with lines, with colors, with shape, with everything I do.
Yeah.
But that's my style, and you can take from it what you like, and don't take what you dislike.
No, obviously.
Yeah, but that's what I can advise you.
You're also making books.
Yes, we
Beautiful
did.
ones.
Yeah, it was just a new one, and the new one is going about sustainability. Sustainability found in our past. So it's a kind of history book of the flower design. We go from Stone Age till present day.
Yeah.
We explain what happens and we have beautiful illustrations my wife made from the ancient times.
Yeah.
And we make work inspired commercially on what we can do today. And for us it is a way to start to think more sustainable in our profession. I don't say we have all the knowledge now. It is the knowledge we have to find together. We have to, it's a road that we have to travel together to make our profession and everything more sustainable. And we cannot do that in one day, and I can do it alone. We have to do it together. But with this book, we want to give a start to start together with it.
Yeah. Is there something we can learn from the history about sustainability?
Yeah, of course. And before 1960, we work more or less sustainable. Later on, we go to use more and more other materials, but is less sustainable, and that's not a bad thing because we didn't know. And there's a different way of working again. We have to go a little bit back. And in the past, they did beautiful things. When you see what the Egyptians did, it's just amazing. It's just like, wow. And we can learn from it. We have to look back. It is there, it was there. It always happens. You just have to look back. It sounds simple.
Yeah, we progressed in many ways in many different aspects. And I mean, the first electrical cars are from around 1900. And now, all of a sudden, 125 years later, we think it's new and we need to use it.
Yeah, correct. And it will.
Yeah. But like you said, it's a road towards getting there. And it's also about the knowledge, what we know now and what we knew back then.
Yes, and we can just learn from the past. It is not a bad thing to learn from the past. We're smart people in that days.
Smarter than we are now sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes you think so, yes.
Yeah. So where do you think, I mean, you studied and you made a whole book about the history. Where do you think the future lies?
That is a very good question. I think there will be a big future for our profession because it's one of the oldest professions, not the oldest one, but one of the older professions. People always were attached to flowers, and I think they will always. And I remember when I heard the stories when I was working in Antwerp, what they did in the early days. It was a very old shop. They did beautiful things, but in the early days it was for the happy few, and now it is for more or less everybody, and that is a good thing. But I think flower design will be always there, and
Well, it's not only an amazing bouquet. We learned a lot as well, not only about you. We learned more about the bouquet than about you, but maybe we need to do a sequel. So next time we'll learn even more from you.
Yeah.
And it's, like we said, it's all in the detail. Look at how he's cutting the stems, all at an angle at the moment to make sure all the water goes into the stems.
Yeah, what I use, and that's also a good thing, I use an easy kind of, how you call this knife?
We call it a Stanley knife.
Yeah, but it's not a Stanley, it's a blade knife, and I change it time by time. This is so easy sharp, so I get a really fresh and sharp cut, so it really helps for the flowers to survive a very long time. And as you see, how many stems I have here, that are only 20 stems of Lisianthus. So from 2 bunches of Lisianthus, you can make something amazing like this. Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again, and don't forget to like and subscribe.